In this video, I briefly described the Israeli form of government. I placed the system in the larger context of other forms of government that have been tried from time to time. On this channel, I stay away from internal Israeli politics. If you're looking for opinions on one or another political party or personality, or how to modify the system to get a personality into or out of office, I must disappoint you. What I do want to do is give a big picture view of the choices the citizens of Israel have made in constructing their democracy and some of the alternatives they have rejected. Israel is a unitary constitutional republic. It may be instructive to enumerate the alternatives to each of these choices, the counterfactuals, as it were. The first one, unitary, is the simplest one. Some countries, especially larger ones like the United States or Germany, are federations. Individual constituent states send separate delegations to the federal legislature. Florida voters elect Florida representatives, Michigan voters elect Michigan representatives. Different states can have different laws. Recreational marijuana can be legal in California, but not in Texas. The other option, unitary, is common in smaller countries like Portugal, Estonia, and Israel. The entire country votes in one election for a single national legislature. A single police force is responsible for enforcing one set of laws throughout the country. Individual cities and towns hold their own municipal elections, but there is no intermediate state level jurisdiction. The country is simply too small for that. So this is the easy part. Now, constitutional means the law cannot be arbitrary and cannot change capriciously. Colloquially, people refer to this as the rule of law. The alternative to constitutional is absolute. Probably the only current example in the world that is openly absolute is Saudi Arabia. The king of Saudi Arabia can make any laws he wants. He can appoint his successor as he wishes. This last feature of absolutism is especially foreign to us in the West. In hereditary monarchies in Europe, succession laws developed early on. These laws stipulated that the kingdom must pass to the dead king's oldest male child, or the oldest child if a kingdom was okay with queens, or the dead king's next oldest brother, or some other arrangement that was known in advance. The big advantage in stipulating the line of succession ahead of time is to reduce infighting. Everyone knows who the next king is going to be. Even if you don't like him, the continuity reduces disruption at succession. Saudi Arabia has no line of succession. The first king of Saudi Arabia, Abdulaziz, died in 1953. All of the Saudi kings since then were his sons, each by a different mother. Now, the man got around. He had 25 acknowledged sons by 22 wives. The youngest of these 25 sons is Salman, the current king, who is now 79 years old. Because Saudi Arabia ran out of half-brother pretenders, there is much uncertainty about the upcoming transition. The infighting has already started. The current favorite seems to be Mohammed bin Salman, the seventh oldest son of the sitting king. Absolutism is also possible in democracy. Athenian democracy was absolute. Citizens could gather in the agora and vote on any issue whatsoever. They could appoint kings, they could declare war, they could vote to execute a fellow citizen who had become unpopular. Talk about agoraphobia. So constitutional means there are some basic rules that are stable. Not immutable, but stable. These basic rules delineate separation of powers, checks and balances, individual freedoms, and so forth. It is possible to change these basic rules, but only with great effort and wide consensus. There is vigorous debate in Israel right now about the role of the judiciary. If change occurs, its proponents must build extraordinary consensus to change the existing rules. I have a separate video on the Israeli constitution if you're curious about the details there. The important bit is that Israel is a country that upholds the rule of law. And finally, Israel is a republic. Republic means that the government represents its citizens and is responsible to the citizens, the publica. The purpose of a republican government is to protect the rights of its citizens. This includes defense from external military attack, protecting citizens' rights to free expression, protecting their physical safety from crime, property rights, and so forth. In a republic, the citizens are sovereign and government officials exist only to carry out the collective will of the citizens. Republican governments tend to represent the diversity of their citizens. In Israel, you find religious and secular Jewish, Christian, and Muslim citizens in public office. Republics support robust public debate. In Israel, you find multiple political parties offering competing visions of the best path the country can take. In fact, the number of parties is a surprise to some English speakers accustomed to a two-party system. I have a separate video on the abundance of political parties in Israel. The alternatives to republic are monarchy and theocracy. In a monarchy, the king rules on a vague mixture of hereditary rights, divine anointment, and military might. A sovereign is the entire kingdom. In Hamlet, when Claudius refers to our brother Norway, he means a specific individual, the king of Norway. In contrast with republics, subjects in a monarchy exist to support the sovereign. The big idea in a monarchy is that the sovereign, however he or she got the job, is the ultimate authority in the realm. The sovereign can make tough decisions in foreign policy, settle disputes between subjects, and so forth. Monarchies, an outgrowth of the feudal system, tend to be cohesive ethnically and culturally. Constitutional monarchies have progressively circumscribed the responsibilities of their kings to the point that most people outside Canada think that Canada is a republic. The other alternative to republic is a theocracy. The purpose of government in a theocracy is to defend and spread a particular religion. Theocracies tend to have a global outlook, ideally trying to spread their religion to the entire world. Always wishing to bring salvation to people everywhere, theocracies de-emphasize borders and race. They tend to emphasize spiritual awakening. The easiest example today is Iran. The upper house of the legislature is the Council of Guardians of Islam. The lower house is the Islamic Consultative Assembly. Obviously, only members of Muslim clergy can hold public office in Iran. It would be counterproductive to appoint apostates to defend and spread Islam. Iran may appear as an anachronism or aberration in today's world, but it isn't. I find it fascinating that this theocracy refers to itself as the Islamic Republic of Iran. The rule of thumb is, anytime you have to qualify your republic, it's a theocracy. Here's an example. The Republic of China, Taiwan, is a republic. People's Republic of China, the mainland, is a communist theocracy. Only members of the Communist Party can hold public office on the mainland, and it would be nonsense to appoint non-communists to defend and spread communism. So if you are People's Republic of Angola, or Democratic Republic of Germany, or heavens help you, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, you need to check your theocracy. So there you have it. Israel is a unitary, multi-party constitutional republic. It is a small country with universal election to national legislature and a single set of laws that apply everywhere in the country. It has constitutional guardrails against arbitrary or capricious government. And its government exists to protect the rights of its citizens.